Cornflake girl. She's been living in her cornflake world. Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Something clever about cereal and milk.
Ring decoder. Buried in my cornflake girl.
Nice. Buried in the girl.
I know. I'm sorry. I was coming up and I couldn't pivot. I didn't know what to do.
Hello, welcome to Way Too Broad, a show and tell program for really, really ridiculously excited grown-ups.
Yep.
I'm Hannah, and these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin. You're very agreeable today.
Yep. Hello. Hello, Ben. Yep.
Hello, yes, that is correct.
Yes. Yes, I have a couple of really important updates for everyone our age, not your age, Ben, but our age. Well, I mean, who knows? You're getting up there too, okay? Don't kid yourself. All right.
Yeah.
So I found out this week. This is just real quick. I know we haven't done what are we drinking, but I found out this week that Y2K is now a fashion trend.
Whoa.
It's like 80s fashion, 90s fashion, Y2K fashion. It no longer means computer glitch. It now means dressing the way people dressed in the 2000s.
Bound to happen.
Which means like baggy jeans, like the things we used to call mom jeans. Those are cool now. And do you know what mom jeans are now? Do you want to guess?
No.
Skinny jeans. And also, it's no longer at all cool to part your hair on the side. That's like extremely out. Middle
what
part
about if
is
it's
yours, like yours?
Short hair, fade, side part.
Yeah,
it buzzed into my head.
Yeah, I think you probably get a pass on that one because
excellent.
Your hair would look ridiculous parted in the middle.
Can I get a hard part in the middle? I'm gonna ask for that next time my barber's gonna have a stroke.
But yeah, so those are some things that I learned recently that were pretty shocking to me. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew.
Apparently, I learned today that the laugh emoji where it's crying, with
also
laughter,
out.
is so out.
Yeah. But it's like that's what it's like. I can't stop using it. Like I never felt like I was committed to it, but like the ways that I've been told that I'm supposed to express that emotion with emoji feels so wrong to me that I'm
what is the provided
like
alternative?
A skull emoji or like
what?
The big like I'm dead. Yeah.
That's stupid.
I forget there were.
Can I tell you? I actually always, or I guess never.
Ever?
I was going to say I always didn't like, and I was like, there's a better way to say that. I never, like, I guess liked or like understood or related to when people would say, I'm dead, when they were like saying something was really funny. I just always thought it was stupid. So now the fact that that's transcended into a skull emoji makes me kind of angry.
I'm just gonna double down on the crying emoji. Here's the thing: I was never cool, not even with people my age. I was always like hanging out with older people, and now I am the older people I'm hanging out with. If that makes sense. So it's just hopeless for me. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, there was like never a time in my life when I was on top of the trends in any way. So like I don't feel pressure from this, but it's just like I feel like it's the first time in my life that I have felt like so detached from understanding what the trends of like Gen Z that I didn't even like, I was not even aware they existed until I like saw on TikTok that like how could a side part be out? It makes no sense to me. And then the minute that my mind starts going that way, I like feel like a curmudgeonly grandfather. So, anyway, what are we drinking, Ben?
Hold on.
What?
Am I technically a cusp Gen Z millennial?
I don't know. What do you want out of this generation?
No, I just don't know. Millennials, what year? Give me a nice, helpful graphic.
Hello, Google. I don't think
Millennials. Hold on, let me ask Siri.
1981, 1996. Zoomers
Millennials, what year?
Oh my god. I love so much that this like Wikipedia graphic says Zoomers / Generation Z.
Zoomers.
1997 to 2012. So
That's what they were called at first.
I'm a young millennial. What was that? What was your question? What am I drinking? I googled generational. It's the article is called Millennials on Wikipedia.
Millennials.
I don't know if this is like agreed upon by everybody. Probably not.
Does it say that it's not? They flag those things.
What are you even talking about?
I'm burping. I'm not even talking. Come on.
I'm burping. Wasn't Ben like the other episode? Another episode be like, I'm yawning or something.
You asked me. I have 2 ice waters. Is what I'm drinking.
Oh, okay, cool.
This millennial has 2 ice waters.
Do you want to know what I have?
No.
What do you got?
I mean, yes.
Okay, I have a half a cup of water.
A cup of water.
In a nice little, like, really difficult to. It's like a really cool mug I got as a favor at a wedding. This has my friends had a time travel themed wedding, and so it has their like initials A and J, but in the shape of a TARDIS on it.
Fun.
And but it's like, and it's a great mug. It's a great size. It's not really a mug. It's a glass, but it has like a handle like a mug, and it has a top like a mason jar, but it's really hard to fit places because between the shape, it's like a square mason jar, and then the mug handle, it takes up a lot of space, and it's an awkward shape. But I love it very much. We have 2, and I use them all the time. And
I will warn you that those jars are not actually like built like mason jars, insofar as like one time we had one of those and I poured boiling water into it thinking that it was like mason jar-y, but it totally cracked the fuck open.
Thank you for that one.
Even though it looks mason jar, it's not mason jar.
Okay, thank you.
Wait,
appreciate that.
Will room temperature glass, like
I think it was like a little colder, maybe it was sitting in. It went through a temperature change, which mason jars normally are totally down for. They are DTF, down to freeze.
Fluctuate.
Down to fluctuate. Oh, that's so much better. Oh my God, Hannah. They're down to fluctuate. Fluck. But yeah, that whatever that glass was made out of was not.
I have another drink, but I thank you for the warning. It's a Lapsang Souchong tea.
I love Lapsang Souchong. That's a smoky one, right?
It's smoky. It smells like a campfire.
Yeah, it's just good shit.
It smells like the way your hair smells after you come home from a campfire, specifically.
My hair?
Yeah,
hair
everybody's hair. My hair, at least, specifically. I can really only speak for my hair. But that's what it smells like.
I actually can speak for Ian's hair, too.
Yeah, that's what his hair smells like, too. Erin, what are you drinking?
So it smells like burnt hair. Awesome. All right, my drinks are ice water. I have a black cherry seltzer, and I have a, let's see if I can get the name right, vanilla bean macaron. I'm a pro now. So, except the other day, just this week, I referred to the other tea that I really like in this line as honey glazed lemon loaf, but it's just, I think, called glazed lemon loaf.
Yeah, it's not honey, right?
Yeah, I know there's no honey in it. So I'm just, I'm not quite there yet, but I am with this tea, I think.
Getting better every day.
I'm getting better every day.
Yeah, it's not a competition, we all learn at our own pace.
Good. Exactly. Right. We're just all on this journey. So.
Erin, haven't you been off of black cherry seltzers for a while?
No, we've been back on them. We really they were out of stock for a while. and then they came back in, and they tasted weird to me at first, but I'm just totally still. They're definitely fine. So. Yeah, no, I'm on that bullshit.
Cool. I have a couple upfronts. Well, actually, I think I'm going to have one of them as my obsession because I think I'm going to end up going on about it for a while. But just want to say up front that I have there's been some major updates on my last week's obsession. And I'm going to speak on them this week.
Bad timing almost, right?
Yeah.
Like you were like, I don't know. Oh, I'll just say it. There's more episodes left. And then it just like blew the fuck up.
I was desperately trying to remember what it was, and I remember now.
Yeah. So if you heard me talk about the Reply All series on the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen last week, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to talk about it again, but I'm going to talk about all of the fallout from it that you may or may not have seen, mostly on Twitter this week, because I have a lot to say about it. Excuse me. I cannot stop burping. Okay, and I have a second thing, real quick, this is almost like directly aimed at Sam. So, hi, Sam. Thanks for listening. I came across a video this week, and I did share it with you guys as well, and with like some people in our family Slack, but I want to also share it with you because I know you have a lot of thoughts about Bridgerton, and it's about Bridgerton. So there is a YouTuber named Melina. Well, the channel's called Melina Pendulum. The woman who runs the channel, the person who runs the channel is named Princess Weeks, and she's wonderful. And she did a video which is called, it just came out like this week, and it's called Bridgerton and the Problem of Pastel Progressivism. And she has read the books. She compares the storyline in the books to the show, has a lot of thoughts on the way that it handles race, and actually like completely, I didn't realize this, there's like no black people in the books. Like they completely injected the whole thing of like there being black people in the aristocracy, and then kind of like came up with this weird like way that it like they it's like rather than just being colorblind casting, they also inserted this weird explanation for it that made no sense and was very
annoying.
So like it is super interesting, very, very well done, very detailed, very engaging, as she always is. So I would highly suggest it, and I will leave a link to it in the episode description. So go find it. Anyone who's interested, but especially Sam.
Shout out to Sam.
What other podcast gives you this type of service?
Personalized, exactly.
Bespoke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So those are my upfronts. Anybody else have any?
Gosh, I don't think I do.
Nothing for specific listeners.
Shout out
Molly
to our
says
brother.
hi to you guys, though.
Huh?
I
Oh,
always
hi,
forget
Molly.
to tell you that Molly says hi.
What up?
So yeah,
Molly?
that's a good. Yeah, this is the specific listener intro section. I'll give a shout out to Aunt Brown and Uncle Brown, who I also know are avid listeners, and Katie, if you're listening, fucking shout out, Katie. Oh yeah, I will say, Katie. Marco Polo'd me today, and also sympathized with my name issue. She also has trouble with just any name, and so I really appreciate that. I felt seen. I felt really seen.
Oh, and, we got to talk about that because there was a typo, there was a typo in a document in my work this week that I just loved. I immediately screenshotted it and shared it with Erin. So it was a product. You got everyone's heard of a Lazy Susan, right? But has anyone ever heard of a Lazy Sloosin?
It makes me want to release a baby names book, like a Way Too Broad baby names book. And so far, our entries are Linza, of course, Sluzen, Jeremy, and James.
That's
Big
a good
Linza energy.
Loosen. I love that so much.
Yeah,
It really does have big Linda energy.
Yeah, I just put it in our Slack and I just said big Linda energy.
That's so great. So if you're listening and you didn't get a personal shout out, I am sorry.
I have one more shout out to our dear brother Lucas for surviving a car accident this past weekend.
Oh my god. Oh, did we not tell you about this?
On the way to Florida?
Oh my god. His car rolled over.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Well, it rolled on its side. It didn't roll all the way over.
Mm-hmm,
what happened? Holy shit!
There was apparently ice on the road, and he was hauling. He had a U-Haul trailer on his truck, and like started fishtailing, and
oh my god,
freaking! He was not hurt at all. The car still.
Okay?
Federico's
she was in a
car.
different car. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, emotionally, I think she was a little rattled, but
yes.
she
Jesus.
crash.
So they stayed an extra night in Virginia and had the Toyota dealership look at it, and they said it was like mechanically fine. The driver's side mirror, like side view mirror, was totally fucked.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't even think any windshields were cracked. Is that true? Like
he said there was no broken glass. But his driver's side door is going to need to be replaced.
Off a little bit.
Yeah, it was like completely misshapen. So it'll have to be replaced.
Christ.
But he was able to drive it to Florida, so they've made it there now.
Oh my god!
And he's already found a job.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Apparently, it was all very low speed.
Oh, that's good.
Which is good, and part of why he's like not hurt, and it wasn't worse than it was. But my god, does that sound scary?
Oh my god, that sounds so scary. It's like a literal nightmare.
Yeah.
And it was like at night, like
oh my god.
Yeah.
On the highway. Oh god.
Terrible.
Yeah. So big shout out.
How do you flip that car back over? I guess the tow truck comes and
I don't know how they did it. I'm certain they must have had help. Yeah, maybe the tow truck guys helped him or something.
oh my god.
Yeah. So we love you, brother.
Wow. Yeah, shout out Lucas, damn.
I guess we could pop in. Let me just look and see. I didn't check if we have emails.
I do, we don't have any.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we should get some emails.
That's on you, listeners.
Yeah. When are you going to give us our personal shout outs to our email inbox?
This is a two-way street. We're doing all the work right now. Sometimes in a relationship, that's all right. We're holding up our end and your end too. But you gotta give and take, reciprocate. Okay?
Is
this a good strategy? Guilt to drive engagement.
I've always been for antagonizing the listeners, if possible.
Yeah, that's true. Since day fucking one.
Yeah, that is true.
Listen to the transcripts.
Huh? What?
Listen to him. Listen to the transcripts. You won't. All right, let's pop in, I guess.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Ben's banging on the desk again.
Let's bang on.
That's what I do when it's my turn now.
Yeah, it is your turn. What do you want to do about it?
Okay, now that that's over with. I don't really have a particular thing I've been obsessed with this week, so I'll talk about two small things. One of them is like not that interesting, but I think it's interesting and I'd like to get to the bottom of.
Since when do you have an interesting obsession?
Okay. I don't think we need bullying.
Freaking nerd.
So, as I've talked about before, for work I made like a particulate matter sensor.
Yeah, so far pretty boring.
Yeah. And I was in a staff meeting for that class, during which one of the TFs, who also has one of these devices called Hazel after my cat,
yeah.
was like, yeah, the PM in my apartment is pretty high. He was like, it's like 4. And I was like, oh, that's high. It's been like 10 in my apartment for like a week. What's going on? And
what's PM mean?
Particulate matter.
Particle matter.
Oh, okay.
She was zoning out at the beginning.
No, let me just make clear that was a joke. I've seen a Hazel in person, and it was very cool.
Oh, okay.
Then brought it to our little family get together and let me play with it.
So I really want to figure out where the fuck that's coming from, and I have a theory, which is that a couple of days ago, Kylie was cooking something on the stove, and like it was one of those things where it just like kind of became smoky without her really realizing it while she was like frying something in oil. And at the time that happened, I plugged in my Hazel because that was the thing I did like before opening a window because I'm a nerd about it now. And I wanted to see how it would spike, and it like took a while because the kitchen is in the front of the apartment and we're in the office in the back, which is where I had it plugged in. But it spiked like really high. Excuse me. And then decayed kind of down to this level of like between 7 and 10.
What was the really high?
Like 200.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's, the units are micrograms per meter cubed, which I don't know if that matters to anyone, but that's just what it is.
It is what it is.
This is what it is. And I think like since then, I wish I had more complete data from before that incident, but like I kind of think we don't have like any ventilation, and so it's just sort of dispersed in the apartment and like been elevated since then.
Really?
I think so. Like I kind of think that's what it is. And so I've been letting my Hazel sit there for now a little over 48 hours, just collecting data, going along, and I've been like experimenting with my air filter that I bought when I got a 3D printer for Christmas. So I've been like running it for a few hours, and once I have all this, I'm probably gonna do it for like 3 days, and then I'm gonna take a look at the data and see like how effective my air filter is at clearing up the particulate matter. I also want to see how effective the night mode, because it has like a night mode. It's actually what it's on now. It's really quiet, called night mode, and it's like the fan goes at much slower speeds. And I want to see how effective that actually is. And I also want to see, after I turn it off, how quickly the PM spikes back up to like the levels it's been at, because like I can see, it has a screen where I can see the current values, and like I can see that it is going back up after every time I turn off the filter. And like I want to see how quickly that happens, and like then I want to figure out what the fuck it is. Because it's
what happens if you bring? What does it go down to if you turn the filter on?
If I put it for long enough, it goes down to like 1.
Wow.
And then it goes back up to 10.
Yep.
Could it be like
right
cat
now with
hair dander? Is that weird?
Yeah,
or
that's
like
a good question.
Right now it's at 7. And I had the air filter on full blast before we started recording, and then turned it on night mode when we started.
Is an air filter, is that different from an air purifier?
I think so. It's
like what's
it has a HEPA filter in it.
Okay, what's the name of it?
It's Levoit.
Joey.
Hold on, I can find it.
Spell it.
If you give me 1 second of dead air.
Joey.
We have an air purifier. I'd be interested to know if it does fucking anything.
Can you send us a Hazel?
Oh, it's called it is an air purifier.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I'm interested now because I want to know if air purifiers work.
It's Levoit air purifier with a true HEPA filter.
Well, it sounds like it does work, but then something is filling your air.
Right. That's what it is. Like, I wonder if I let it run for like a few days uninterrupted and then turn it off, it'll still spike back up. Like, I kind of want to like do more tests with this now.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you know how big of an area that air purifier is supposed to work for? Because they usually have like square footages listed. Because maybe it's like you're creating sort of a dearth of material in that room in the air, and then it's just flowing in from elsewhere in the house.
Like, could it just be Boston smog?
Or up to 219 square feet. Okay, so that's a good... Yeah, that's a good point, because actually there was one time where I thought my Hazel was broken because the readings were way higher than usual, and then I looked up. You can go to a website called airnow.gov and look up the air quality like in your air at your zip code.
Oh.
They have like a bunch of sensors distributed around, and it turned out that like the air quality in Brookline was just really bad at the moment during those, but it's not right now. Like it's. The AQI is 32, which I always forget how to convert, so I look it up, which...
See, mine's 23.
Mine is 37.
For which kind of pollutant? For PM 2.5?
Yeah, 23.
What is that?
So
where does it
mine's
say that?
32. Oh, you know what? Mine is 32, which is 7.6 micrograms per meter cubed, but historically... like before whatever happened that it's been elevated in my apartment recently, whenever I checked airnow.gov, like the PM in my apartment was always like slightly lower than what it was outside, but it was usually around the same. But now it is consistently at or higher than what it is outside, unless I'm running the air filter. I don't know. I think this, by the way, I think that I may just talk about only this, because the other thing I was going to talk about is like really I'm not obsessed with. And now that I think about it, that I have been thinking about this a lot.
Okay. I think this is extremely interesting
like a
because it's like a
mystery.
murder mystery.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? You know what I fucking learned? Because when we were talking about, when the TF and that staff meeting was talking about it, one of the things that the professor for the class mentioned was like, apparently, and I need to check if this is true in my apartment, you know how there are like hoods above stoves that have like things what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
Fume extractor kind of things.
Yeah.
Some of them just dump the air back in to your kitchen.
Ours definitely does that, because the fan, you can feel it coming out the top. It just goes up.
And like maybe it has a filter in there or something, but I think
Maybe.
like I wonder if that was also part of it, is that we started
I don't
running
think
that.
mine does a fucking thing.
Just makes noise.
Yeah, it really just like goes woo. Like I might as well stand in the kitchen making a fan noise. Is how I feel about it.
So I feel like I would run my air filter all the time, but it is really loud when it's like full blast, which is kind of unfortunate.
You know what I like about this website?
What, airnow.gov?
Yeah, when you hover over where it says like that your air is good, it says good. Enjoy your outdoor activities, and I think that's nice.
I love that.
Thank you for that. I will enjoy my outdoor activities.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy an air purifier.
they're good. I mean, I guess they're only good while they're on. Apparently,
Oh, it's on sale on Amazon. I'm just buying it.
we have a big one. Well, we have like a tower one that we got when we bought this house, because we were worried that having 2 cats and at least 2 litter boxes in a 520 square foot house would get smelly very quickly. So we actually bought it for that. But now it's like something that is being recommended as being like good for because of all the deadly viruses in the air. So, and a HEPA filter can actually catch some of those, I believe.
So
Yeah,
Ben,
that's what we have. That's what we have at work. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
What are some of your other theories about what could be in your air? Farts?
A lot of farts. That would explain why they keep coming back.
A lot of farts.
I mean, so one thing I did notice, I scooped the cat litter today in this room in the litter box behind me, and I'm collecting litter to my left. And while I was doing that, the number spiked up a lot, which like makes sense because there's like clouds of dust in the air.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense enough to explain the elevated levels. It could be the heating system in the building if it's burning oil. I actually don't know what our boiler uses. Maybe I'll ask the super.
Yeah, do it.
Because I like that could just be. I don't know. I think it's probably a mix of the heating system, the complete lack of ventilation in this apartment.
You know what you need also is more data from the person that told you their normal is lower than 4. Like you need to know do they have pets?
Well,
How many pets do they have?
my normal is lower than 4. Like, this is what I mean. Like, because I've collected a lot of data with this thing. When I was building it and testing it, I haven't. The thing I wish I'd done is like had like a long time series like I'm doing now, which I don't. But I just have like from what I've watched on the screen generally. But like typically, I see like 2 or 3. Or like maybe 2 to 4 is like the typical number where I'm like that. That's why like when I saw the numbers go up that time and it turned out the air quality was really bad in Brookline, it was because the numbers I was used to were like 3 and I was seeing like 11 or higher and I was like, what the hell's going on? So it normally is lower here and I don't have a good point where I like know that it started to get elevated. I have like a couple of data files that I've collected over the few weeks when I was like testing the scripts I was writing that like pulled the data off of it. So I may be able to take a look at those because they're all timestamps. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll dig into that a little more and be like, what the fuck happened?
How expensive is it to build a hazel? Can you build us one and send it? And we can be
it's like
we'll be your
just
samples.
to sign up for a class at Harvard.
they're probably like $100 something worth of stuff. They're not. I mean, I could make one.
Have you farted right by the hazel to see what happens?
I haven't. No.
Well, seems
Would
like a
you
waste.
try?
Yeah.
Would you let me know?
I just don't want to ruin the experiments I'm currently running. That's the only reason I won't.
But if you're gonna fart.
And when I do, I run away as far as I can
You run outside.
to not disturb it because I know it's gonna spike.
Have you been cooking a lot recently? Have you been farting a lot recently?
Which
a lot
one
of beans. Cooking.
Not any more than usual.
Vacuuming.
Dusting.
A lot. Dusting.
Kylie did vacuum the rug for the first time
Ever.
like a week. No, first time in a while. I meant to say like a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. That's an interesting data point.
We've been dusting a lot. Now I wish I had a hazel too.
I don't know. Now I'm suddenly like very curious about the air I'm breathing. You think that's air you're breathing now? The Matrix.
Well, that's interesting. I wish we could help you solve the mystery right now, but I just don't.
I just hope it gets better.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if you're able to kind of pinpoint some stuff or,
I'll probably talk to the environmental engineers that run the course that I made it for and see if they have any ideas.
Oh,
love
that's
it.
a great idea. I like that.
Wow. Now you made us look like just like idiots because we're like, oh, is it fart? And then you're like, oh, I'm going to ask.
Make sure, Ben, when you
Harvard.
talk to them that you let them know that we already ruled out farting.
Say, tell them that you've been controlling for farts.
That's like, and I think you should leave character. And it can't be farts.
I've been farting outside.
I run
take all
away
my
from the
farts in.
hazel.
I take all my farts and I put them outside. Not farts. I fucking love that show. I was just watching that show
so
today.
good.
It's just so good.
Because you brought it up, I watched 2 episodes while I was waiting for you guys
Yeah.
because I was ready at 9. I
Wow.
just sat here and watched.
no.
I think you should leave. It was great.
That's
Well, I'm not sad for you. Let's see. We talked about I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson, episode 86, Fiona's Famous Apples.
That's such a fucking good title. Oh my god. Wait, were we talking about fetch the bolt cutters there?
yeah, or
Cutters.
yeah, probably. No, that's too early for that.
Probably.
I was gonna say it feels too early.
I think I might have been
Yeah, we
talking
must
about
not have.
her other album. What are the other obsessions that week? It feels so self-congratulatory every time we laugh at our own episode titles, but like they're very funny.
They're so funny. Well, we purposely
none of our obsessions were Fiona Apple.
It really wasn't. It really wasn't. Well, we purposely pick the most random thing so that it's always funny to us out of context. I feel like that's like a gift to our future selves, is that when we revisit something, we're always like, it's always really funny.
I talked about GeoGuessr in that episode. I've been playing that again recently, as you know. All right, should we pop into me now?
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome to me.
You now.
Welcome to me now. Okay. Ben, wait a minute. What do I call that? What is that? What is that going to say in the index?
Ben's dirty air.
Air quality.
Air quality. Mystery.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So my obsession this week is, let me see. Let me date this. So we had, we recorded last week's episode on Saturday. Oh my God.
Excuse you.
Wait,
Gross,
why did
Hannah.
I go to Twitter? Saturday.
The 13th.
The 13th. It came out on Sunday the 14th at like midnight. And then, when did this, so my obsession last week was the Bon Appetit, the series that Reply All was doing about the Bon Appetit test kitchen, big, like, racism blowout that happened last summer, right? So go back and listen if you want to hear about what they were doing in that series. They're about 2 episodes in. Currently, we don't know if there will be more of it because...
I don't know if they'll have the fucking gall.
Yeah, well, and both of the people that were doing this series, like, literally stepped down from the show. So I'm not sure who would...
Oh, I hadn't heard that Shruti did.
Yeah, so where...
Oh, she did?
Yes. You're getting ahead of me here. Where did I put that?
Okay, well,
you
said
said
it.
You literally just
We're
said it.
reacting to a thing you just said.
You said that to us.
We are exactly where you are.
We are where you have brought us.
Exactly.
3 days ago. What fucking date? Okay, so February 16th, which was Tuesday, this past Tuesday, if you're listening as this comes out, which was 2 days after our podcast came out, Eric Eddings, who used to work at Gimlet on a podcast called The Nod with someone named Brittany Luce, was his co-host. It was a really good show about like being Black in America, basically, or just like being Black in general. And eventually they parted ways with Gimlet, and there had been some sort of public discussions of them not having the best time there, not like getting the support that they needed, and also them sort of fighting with Gimlet and now Spotify, who has bought Gimlet at this point for the rights to the content that they produced while they were there. Like that kind of stuff, that's all like been known. But yeah, so Eric Eddings put this thread out about Reply All's Test Kitchen series, in which he said Shruti, who's the producer at Reply All, who has been reporting the series, emailed him about the Test Kitchen series. And he said that, actually, let me just read, I'll just read excerpts from this. So last week I got an email from Shruti about Reply All's Test Kitchen series. I had been avoiding listening, but once I did, I felt gaslit. The truth is Reply All, and specifically PJ and Shruti, contributed to a nearly identical toxic dynamic at Gimlet. This will be a longer thread. Apologies. So... he said, Reply All was/is an island at Gimlet. It's the brand's biggest show, and it showed in resources and power. When they spoke, the company listened, but they rarely exercised this power beyond the scope of their team. It was a clique. I'm scanning. Okay, here's another one. When Gimlet unionized, many people of color felt that it was their last chance at creating an environment within Gimlet where they could succeed. I joined the organizing committee. We put together a robust list of demands related to working conditions, equity, freelancers, diversity, and IP. When Reply All came up, many pointed out that PJ and Alex Goldman had some of the closest, deepest relationships to management. A lot of folks simply didn't know them. The folks who did know them didn't feel comfortable pushing back on the fears of others. And this is obvious if you listen to Reply All, like they have a recurring segment where they bring on the head of Gimlet, Alex Bloomberg, to do like the beloved Yes, Yes, No series, where they read a tweet to him that he inevitably doesn't understand, and then they explain it to him. So like they clearly are like buds, right? So it goes on. He describes having personally seen harassing messages sent by PJ to other organizing committee members. He talks about a time that PJ was slacking with Shruti during like a meeting with Eric Eddings and said out loud to him that she called me a piece of shit and asked him to tell me, like on Slack. And so
a big yikes, a massive yikes,
massive yikes. Mm-hmm. So it was also like, to me, for me personally, like, if there's anything, I've been very fortunate in many ways in my life, and there are not a lot of things that I would describe as having been traumatic in my life, my lived experience. If I had to name like one that I have the most like continuing like sort of trauma responses towards, like I find literally like triggering and upsetting, it is the unionization efforts and people being like anti-union and union busting activities from management really gets me like so riled up and angry and brings me like directly back to how I felt when my so I never have worked at a place that was undergoing a union drive, but Ian did. And he was on the organizing committee, and I was like, at the time, I worked like 45 minutes to an hour away from where they were doing all their organizing, and I would drive like after work all the way there, like at least once a week, I think we would meet in secret. Like, it took years and years of trying to like really figure out who to bring in, who could we trust, because until the moment that you are like publicly announcing that you are like trying to unionize, management can fire you for trying, and if there's no, and it's like, if you haven't built enough support, then you can't go public. But if you haven't gone public, then management like can just fire you and say it's for some other reason, or just because it's at will or whatever. So everybody who talks about it with anyone is risking their jobs. So it's like incredibly difficult and complicated, and there's nothing that has been done in the world of public policy to make it any easier, or to even stop it from getting harder, like for decades. So it's only gotten harder to do, which is why the power of unions is so much less than it used to be in this country. And like when we did go public in our union drive, it was immediately pushed back on by the management. Really hard. They hired like a law firm that specializes in basically union busting, and had people come like during their work hours, and instead of doing their jobs, they would like short staff the whole museum so that they could have these people sit in classrooms and be told lies about how unions were going to like steal all their money and not do anything for them. And it was so it was like we'd have to get reports back from people who work there about what they had been told so that we could then counteract that with emails. But we had to do all of that in our free time, whereas they could take the time that they were, paying them during work hours and like indoctrinate, put up signs. Like we couldn't do that. So it's just like even the power imbalance of like what management can say while you're trying to go public versus how and the amount of reach they have to the entire employee base versus what like the employees trying to organize have is so mismatched. Like it's just very frustrating. So it was really upsetting to hear about these people who I was just talking about being doing all this cool work, being so against something that I care so much about. And so I've been reading a lot about it this week. And also I've learned a lot on the positive side about what a wonderful person Eric Eddings clearly was to work with, because everybody who has like ever worked with him, especially at Gimlet, has been coming out of the woodwork to make sure that they say that he was like, not only was he like a huge driving force to help their union drive, which was ultimately successful, but was very heartily fought against by not just PJ and Shruti, but by a lot of the sort of old guard people that worked there and work there. But I think it was partly because the union drive and the Spotify purchase were happening around the same time. And so that there were some people who probably stood, especially people who've been there for a long time, who stood to gain a lot of money from the Spotify purchase, and they didn't want that to be fucked with by unionization. So, but Eric Eddings sounds like a really wonderful like stand-up guy, and Brittany Luce as well. And he says they're working on new projects together, and they're not like out yet, but I would like super encourage everybody to follow them. He's like at E Eddings on Twitter. And yeah, it just sounds like he is just a super good dude. And they've already made a lot of good content that exists out in the world. Unfortunately, the last thing they did was a remake of or sort of a new version of The Nod, but it was on Quibi, which I think doesn't exist anymore.
That's true.
Excuse me.
You were supposed to get your burps out.
I know, I'm sorry. But that you can still listen to The Nod, and they I think they also had a podcast called For Colored Nerds before that, that then turned into The Nod, sort of. So go seek out their content. And so since then, in the fallout from this, PJ has put out a statement saying that he was going to step away from doing the podcast for a while at all. And he only said for a while. He basically said it was a sabbatical. There's been reporting that's come out since then. I don't know what the sources are, but there's been reporting that's come out since then that he's actually not coming back to the podcast at all. There has also been an email that leaked internally from Gimlet, where it was stated that actually Shruti this was going to be her last series on Reply All, and then she was going to be doing something else. It wasn't like stated what it was, but something else at Gimlet. So she was also stepping back from the podcast. So I don't know then what's going to happen with the series, because I think they have interviews recorded, but they're clearly like they were editing down to the wire last time. So I don't think they have it like ready to roll or anything, nor do I think it would really be appropriate to put it out, with everything. So yeah. I don't know what they're going to do now. Alex Goldman, has been completely silent since all of this broke. Basically, he hasn't said anything. And from what I hear, I mean, he's on the negotiating
bargaining committee.
The bargaining committee now for the Gimlet union. Which, by the way, they haven't reached a contract. They're still like, and that's another thing that happens. Like that's kind of what happened with the union. So our union drive was also very narrowly successful, and then basically they were stonewalled in negotiations with management for like over a year, and then basically, I don't know exactly where it stands now. But it's basically been dissolved at this point. It was like,
oh no.
So it was just like a huge, even when we won, it didn't feel like a victory. It sucked. And it's the thing that sucked about it and that felt so familiar about all of this is that it really destroyed a lot of really positive working relationships in really tough ways. Because like there is this thing where the closer, and like I can see why it happens. And I don't think any of the people who ended up being against unionization at Ian's work were terrible people. So that's not the thing about PJ that makes me think like, like if it was just like he didn't believe in the union and he fought against it, that would be one thing. But like the harassment of other people is a whole nother thing. But like there's a thing where like if you are in any situation and you find out that your coworkers have been keeping a secret from you that you thought were your friends for like a year, you know, there's going to be a lot of feelings there, and some people can get through them. And like there were people who we knew would be in support of it, who we kept out of the loop because we also knew that they just weren't that discreet. Right. And then we had to find a way to tell them without them getting upset, you know? So it's like, and then, so it's just so complicated and so difficult. And it really will make it so that there's people that you just can never feel like you really truly like on a personal level ever again. And like, to me, if it was just that, it would be like, man, that sucks. But it seems like it got very, very personal. There's also been some tweets that have come out from exes of his that talk about him being very gaslighty in the context of relationships. And it's just all like starting.
I saw one. Is there more than one?
Well, no. And the only one I saw was the one that I sent you guys, which was from a girl named Lola, a person named Lola. But she referenced seeing other people, so I did go looking for them, and I didn't find anything. So I don't know if it's just stuff that people have been talking to her about or what. But she got pretty specific. And it just was so reminiscent of the type of behavior that I've seen before in these types of kind of like low-level famous public figures, you know, in media that I feel like I kind of believe it. Or I do believe it. So you just never do know what's going to happen. Every week's just a big surprise.
Every day is a winding road.
Can I add a quick addendum? While Alex Goldman has not said anything himself, he has retweeted the other co-host of Reply All, Emmanuel Jochi, saying, there's a lot I want to... retweeting the Eric Eddings thread and saying, there's a lot I want to say and the rest of my remaining team wants to say and we will. But let me be crystal clear. I'm really glad Eric spoke up. He didn't have to. He didn't start any of this and he doesn't deserve this crap.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They, you know, I feel like it's tempting to be like... I'm sorry, Erin. Let me just get this out because I'm going to forget it. I think it's tempting in these situations to always be like, oh, I could tell... I always didn't like that co-host as much or whatever. And it's usually not true. And like, I really liked them both a lot, but he was always the antagonist in their relationship. Like he always was the one just kind of being very rude to Alex.
That's true. He's like the bully. Sorry,
Erin, go ahead.
I was just saying when Ben has an addendum, it's an addendum.
Thank you. I'm sorry I interrupted that.
I'm so glad we got back to that.
I wouldn't have let us forget it.
Oh my god, that would have been fucking tragic.
I thought about that, Hannah, too, because recently, like, I think maybe today, you know, Shia LaBeouf's ex came out and detailed, like, horrific abuse that she suffered when in a relationship with him. And I was thinking about that. You know, it's never productive to be like, well, I always knew that guy was an asshole. Mm-hmm. But I do feel that way sometimes when stuff like this happens, where I'm like, you know, yeah, of course he's a fucking, you know, piece of trash. Like, I don't know. And maybe that's harsh, and it's not productive, but it is like, it tells me something, right? Like, there are these just little flags that arise sometimes, even with people you don't know. You're like, they seem like an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like there's a difference between the feeling of like, oh, I knew all along, and the feeling of like, oh, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah,
and I think the latter is more what we're feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. I have like a collection of like celebrities who I'm like, I will not be surprised if they come out, if something like really terrible about them comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just been a very interesting week. I learn a new thing about Reply All and their fate every time that I go on Twitter. And it just is a reminder, I guess, to not, maybe don't assume the worst of people that you don't know, but maybe also don't assume the best of them, and don't assume that they're like any better of a person than you because they're successful in their field. or better person than anybody else. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. So who knows what will happen now, but that's my segment on Reply All News.
I feel like we're learning, and it's just become like really more acute in the past several years in a really good way. Like we're learning to just kind of hold space for like the things that we love to just be, you know, for a truth to come out about something that we love and for us to detach from it, you know, to like stop loving it for that reason. And I think in a healthy way, right? Like to just like not, to just maybe come to expect that. Like it might happen, it might be around every corner, and that's okay.
Yeah, you know? It's been that kind of like year or two for sure. And yeah, it is a big lesson. And it's also like, it's kind of like feels as natural as any other type of change that happens in your life eventually. Like I don't really miss Bon Appetit anymore as a source of videos. Like I've found other things to fill that gap. There have never been more options. And it's never been easier to be an intentional consumer of media than it is right now. So definitely like the best way to elevate the voices of people of color is to like seek out their content and listen to it. And the same goes for all other marginalized groups. So that, I guess that'll be more my homework section, but I would say, you know, decolonize your podcast feed as well, I guess. But that's okay. We got to get to Erin's obsession. I knew I was going to talk about this for a long time, and I was right.
She called it.
Yeah. Erin, what's your obsession?
Well, that's a nice obsession, Hannah. That was really handed to you on a silver platter there, now, wasn't it? My obsession is a sporting event that is happening this week. Does anybody know what it is?
The Australian Open.
Nope.
No.
Damn it.
Any other guesses?
Know.
Marbles.
A sporting event happening this week. Is it like ongoing this week?
Yep. And next week?
Is it marbles?
Into next week? Is it marbles? No.
Oh.
No, ma'am.
Oh, is
No,
it
ma'am?
soccer?
Can you give us a hint?
Yep. Yeah, it's the U.S. Women's National Team playing in the She Believes Cup.
Oh.
It's a She Believes Cup. Is my obsession this week. I talked about...
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I talked about the She Believes Cup in episode 94. There's a snake in my wellies. No, I didn't. I talked about the U.S. Women's National Team at episode 94. There's a snake in my wellies.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. So I got really into the U.S. Women's National Team when they were playing in the World Cup. I think my first game was the now historic one where Megan Rapinoe scored that amazing goal and then like did the pose. Like that was I was just like, what is this? This is so great. And so I became a fan and started watching, like just like joyously watching, as you might recall, the World Cup and the U.S. Women's National Team, and it was just amazing to me. And then they played in the She Believes. So the She Believes Cup is an invitational round robin style cup.
Fuck yes, that was awesome.
I sounded like I knew what I was talking about so confidently, like I didn't just fucking Google this shit.
It's a cup. I don't know.
It's like a mason jar with a handle on it. I don't know. She Believes Cup is an invitational women's association football tournament held in different cities in the United States in late February or early March. In its first 3 years, I'm giving this off the dome, 2016, 2017, 2018, it was contested by the same 4 teams, United States, England, France, and Germany. In 2019, the tournament lineup changed for the first time to Brazil, England, Japan, and the United States. So last year, I became a women's U.S. national team fan in, there's a snake in my wellies where I lost it.
It was 2019, I think, right?
Yeah, it was 2019, the summer of 2019. And so I got to watch the World Cup, and then I got to watch the She Believes Cup, that, in fact, like, one of my last, like, you know, we think like, well, what's some of your last, like, pre-quarantine memories? Like, Chloe came over and we watched She Believes Cup, U.S. versus Japan. And then it was like, I never saw Chloe in person again. You know, I have since then, but not, you know, not without a mask on. And not at my house. Or not at my house without a mask on. So, anyway, it's happening this year. Very exciting. We watched the game. The U.S. played Canada last night. Whew, it was an ugly win. They just, like, got one goal. But they're playing some this weekend. They're playing on Sunday versus Brazil. And it's kind of cool because one of the women who plays for Brazil, I just forgot her name. Plays on the North Carolina Courage team, the North Carolina national, not national team, but North Carolina regional team. I don't know. Listen, I'm new to sports.
Did you get iced, by the way? Did you get iced?
By the U.S. Women's National Team?
By the weather?
There was ice, but our power never went out.
Good, sorry.
So, yeah, that's okay. So anyway, they're playing Wednesday, and then they're playing again, so they're playing Sunday, and then they're playing again on Wednesday, and so, we'll be watching.
Oh, they're playing Brazil on Sunday.
They're playing Brazil, which I just said, literally just said that. And one of
they're playing Brazil on Sunday.
One of the Brazilian, I'm going to get her name.
Oh, are they playing Brazil on Sunday?
Oh,
yeah,
are they playing Brazil on Sunday?
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Sunday.
Yes,
Brazil.
Is it Marta? Is it Deborah Cristiane de Oliveira? Is it Adriana Leal da Silva?
Hold on.
Is
No.
it Geza Ferreira?
No. And I
I'm
thought
just fucking trying over here.
it's Dabina.
That's what I said.
Dabina. Oh,
I didn't say that.
Yeah, anyway, she plays for the Courage, for the North Carolina Courage.
Oh, she's the center. I don't know. Is that true? I literally, can I tell you something? I literally saw in the little drawing on Google of where all the positions are that she was in the center of the field.
She was in the center. I don't know. So that's part of it, is that I'm still learning so much about...
Wait, I think Deborah
soccer.
Cristiane de Oliveira is Dabina.
Oh, okay. That would make sense, because earlier I was looking at the goal scorers between Brazil and Argentina, and it said Dabina. I've only ever seen her reference as Dabina. Like, Marta just goes by Marta. And then I'm looking on the web, and it lists her full name. And I was like, wait, did she not score a goal?
She did.
Okay.
She did score a goal.
Thank you.
You're
Is she a center? Is she a center?
Is a forward, actually.
A forward. So here's
I don't know if
beautiful...
center is a position.
I feel like it might be, Ben.
It definitely is an A sport. I don't know if it is.
It's in basketball it is, for sure.
She's center field. So, you know, I think, you know, I'm at the very, very beginning of my soccer journey, and I know a lot of people are, like, very sporty and, like, know a lot about sports and have been watching them or playing them, and I'm not one of them. I'm just, like, new and just so happy to be here.
No, I don't think anybody does that. I don't think anybody plays sports or watches them.
Everybody knows about sports. I'm just happy to be here, and there's a lot for me to learn, and I'm really excited to learn. Because they're just doing shit, or they'll be like, oh, they were expecting Canada to have a 4-3-4, and I think they're a little, you know, thrown off by their 4-6-7, and I'm like, what? What are those things? Or there's, like, little things that they do where they're getting little formations for little kicks, and I'm like, why are they like that?
Okay,
So I get
Erin, I'm so sorry. I have an update on the whole soccer positions thing.
What's going on?
So there's under forward in this article for association football positions. There are 3 subcategories. There's striker, winger, and center forward. So, given the fact, putting some pieces together here, that she's in the front of her team and the center, I think she may be a center forward.
Based on this, since we're going a lot on this graph that you and I are both looking at, I see 3 players of the Brazil team have soccer balls, so I think they play with 3 soccer balls at once.
Wait,
and Debenia has one of them.
I'm only seeing 2 players. Oh, no, there's 3. Marta also.
No, there's 3.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's cool. And the other team doesn't get any soccer balls. Maybe that's why they lost.
Yeah, this makes, you know what? This is all adding up.
So anyway, Ben and I are both just learning about soccer for the first time.
Maybe that's what the numbers are. It's like how many soccer balls each team gets. They thought they were going to get 3
Erin.
soccer balls.
Hey. Where can I watch this? I'll watch on Sunday.
Yeah, you can watch it on FS1. Actually, I have an update for you, Ben. This is a great segue. Ben, thank you for asking. You're like a plant. So I had this whole thing, right? Like the U.S. played. So I watched the She Believes Cup enthusiastically. Here I am, ready to be a soccer fan for the whole year of 2020. But then we had a fucking pandemic, and they just like stopped playing soccer. Okay, and so here I am. I'm new to sport, and I don't know anything about soccer schedules.
New to sport.
I'm new to sport. I don't know anything about sport schedules at all. I don't know about sport seasons at all. How am I expected to know about this? So what happens was, I have a whole rant prepared for you today. What happened was, I don't know anything about any of these things, and also, so number one, I'm on YouTube, like I often am, and I see that the U.S. women's national team has gathered, and they have played some friendlies that I missed, because I didn't know about them. They played some friendlies against Colombia, and some other ones.
Like the ice cream?
And I was like, yeah, and I was like, the coffee, and I was like, how did I miss this game? How did I miss this game? Well, of course I missed it because I'm not, like, checking sports schedule because I don't know about them, right? I'm not going to remember to check that. And so I was like, so that's one thing. And the second thing is I'm like, okay, YouTube, why don't... Ben, I'm going to answer your question. But I was like, YouTube, why... You know that I watch all the U.S. women's national team content on YouTube. Why don't you give me an ad? You're giving me an ad. I literally got a YouTube ad. I probably sent this rampage to you. I literally got a YouTube ad for supplements to make your testicles bigger, but you can't serve me an ad to be like, hey, the U.S. women's national team is playing a friendly against Colombia. Buy YouTube TV to watch it. That's something I would buy. I'm getting colonoscopy ads. I'm getting make your testicle bigger ads. I'm getting perfume ads. Those are 3 things I would never buy.
Didn't the ad also say
to make
colonoscopy?
Who wants their testicles to be bigger?
Yeah, it also
I don't know.
said it would make them heavier. I got the same ad.
Yes, bigger and heavier.
What the fuck? Why did you both get that?
Because they're wasting all their money when they could be telling me about something that I actually...
balls. Why haven't I got that?
Maybe you're getting all the sport ads. So anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna remember to check the schedule for these soccer games. So I made myself a little bot that I just updated it today. Every day, it makes a call out to, this is an implementation detail, but basically I went to the women's soccer team page and saw the API call they were making under the hood, the data call they were making under the hood. So it makes a call to that and then comes through the schedule. And if there is, checks my calendar. I made a special calendar that I can add everybody to. It's just for this. Checks the calendar. And if there is a new game that is not already scheduled, it just adds it to my calendar, and it tells you where you can watch it, and when the game is, and who they're playing.
Wow.
And it's great. And if you give me your Gmail address, you just do it right here on Pablo. We'll just record it right here. I can add you this calendar if you're interested. So, you can watch these upcoming games on FS1 and another one. I gotta check the calendar.
I don't have TV.
Yeah, I for the month... So here's another hot tip. Do you have Hulu? Do you pay for Hulu?
I do.
Yeah.
I upgraded to Hulu plus Live, and I didn't have to do anything, and it's prorated for the month. So you could catch these 2 games probably for like $20.
I did that for the NBA playoffs, so I could probably do that again.
Yep. And you can just like add it to your stuff and it'll record it.
Sick.
Just like
because they have all those ads that are like Hulu has live sport.
Did you say it'll record it?
Yeah, if you add it to your stuff, you can like get it. It'll record it.
Oh, and then do you still have access to it after you cancel the live TV subscription?
Probably not. No.
Gotcha. Fuck it, I'll watch it live then.
Yeah, but if you can record it so you don't have to like be there at 7 when it starts.
It's like a Deaver.
But it's at 3.
Yeah,
it's at a lovely time on Sunday.
Yeah, great time for a soccer game. And after that game is, I think, is Canada versus Argentina, maybe?
Those are the other 2 teams, so that sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you can catch those games. Oh, but since I'm talking about... I meant to also talk about the format of the She Believes Cup. So, the 4 invited teams playing a round robin... Huh?
You said it's a cup.
Yeah, it's a cup. The format is... It's like it's not a bowl, it's a cup. So the 4 invited teams play in a round robin tournament. Points awarded in the group stage. I'm trying to sound like I'm not reading this. So the way it works is that points awarded in the group stage follows the formula of 3 points per win, 1 point per draw, and 0 points for loss. A tie in points would be decided by goal differential. Other tiebreakers listed below.
I know, listener, I know it sounds like you would only say it that way if you were typing it, but Erin always speaks like that, as you know. If you've been listening for a while, she'll always be like, my obsession is listed below, and then she'll say what it is.
I think of time not as a horizontal concept, but as a vertical concept in which I'm falling, and the future is below me.
Time is a vertical, bottomless pit.
Yeah, I do like that. Nominate that for the... So anyway, would either of you like to be added to this calendar at this time?
Yeah, I gave you my email.
I know your emails. Yeah, Ben, I'll do your Gmail one. Hannah, you want it?
Don't do my Gmail one. Okay. Do this one.
It is a G calendar, so you have to...
Yeah, all my emails are Google emails.
Wow.
Even if they don't look like it.
Wow.
They are,
Sneaky.
I swear. Actually, I have one that's not.
Oh, wow. He immediately
Because when I
it.
started at Harvard, they gave me 2 emails for some reason.
Wow.
It's actually
Hannah,
really annoying.
Yeah, I sent you.
Hannah?
I sent you my email. Oh,
yeah.
In there.
Wow. You really did it in caps lock. Hannah yelled her email address out. All right, cool. I just added you both. You should be able to see it right away.
Fucking sick,
and it runs
dude.
every day, and so should be good to go forever.
Wow, forever.
I did that with my work playground time that we get every week.
Nice.
So that was totally fucking chill.
Oh, I'm so full. I just got to
so full of knowledge.
Yeah, and pizza.
So full of soccer.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to watching those games below. Below on Sunday. I like thinking of time as a pit I'm falling into.
It's so interesting to have a tournament that's just a group stage. Is that like a common thing in soccer? Erin, the expert?
I don't know. All I know is they'll have 1 to 4 soccer balls on the field at one time, and somebody's going to be in the center, and I think they just stand there. I don't really quite know.
Based on the graph that you were looking at, they all just
The graph!
Based on the graph provided to us by Google, this is what we have. Some of them
Why does it say 4-2-3-1 and then 4-3-3?
Nobody knows.
Wait,
On
what?
the Brazil side, it says in the top right corner 4-2-3-1, and Argentina it says 4-3-3.
That's the thing Erin was talking about.
I know, but
Yeah.
she was talking about the commentators were saying it, but what does it mean?
I think it's like their little.
Oh, I see
setup.
it. I see it. 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1.
Wow, you get it.
Oh, I do see it.
Honestly, I have no
So I
idea
need
what
to-
you guys were looking at this whole time.
I think for one of my weeks, I'm going to read a soccer book for one of my nonfiction reads because I want to know more about what is all this.
What is it?
Soccer book.
Why? You know what I want to know? I want to know why the soccer ball got all those shapes on it. What is all that?
What, like, they just get in little places sometimes. They really do. They get in their little places when they do their little kicks, and I'm like, but why?
Are there any call-in shows about soccer that you could maybe call and ask what it all is?
I should.
Oh my God.
Hey there, Erin. You're on the air. What's your question? Hey, I just got one question. What is all this?
Why is there those little places?
They have their little places, and they all know where to go.
How do they make it so that no one ends up going to the same place?
How do they? There must be a book for me. Right? Like, not everybody played soccer or has somebody in the room to talk to them about it. Some people need to self-learn. Maybe I'll watch a YouTube video. That might be better.
I'm kind of still in that boat with basketball too, where they'll throw out jargon and stuff that I don't quite understand. Like, I don't even have a good example. That's how little I know.
Yeah.
Like something about the post, like they say he's good in the post, and I'm like, or let's say he's like posting up on someone, and I still don't quite get what that means. I feel like it's something I can spot when I see it, but couldn't describe to you definition of it.
Yeah. And with sports, there's some things you can intuit. Like I think there's things you could be like, why did they do that? Like when you first see it, you'd be like, oh, why did she kick the ball out of bounds? But then as you watch it more, you can kind of understand like, oh, she just like diffused a really powerful, a charged moment that the other team was creating.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of intuit stuff like that. But then there's stuff, it's like, literally, why are they standing in those places? Like I don't think you can ever intuit that, like, that's clearly a rule that a soccer thing that somebody created
Like
at
there's
some point.
there's like theory behind why that's the best place to be.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't know.
or literal like position, like song and dance, like not song and dance, but like there's a song they sing. I was like, what is that song? But like you have to stand, like soccer rule, like you have to stand there, and I'm just like, what is that and why? You know, or do they have options? I don't know. Like they're just things I don't think I can ever. Yeah. What is all
What
this?
is all this? What is it?
I'm gonna try to find a YouTube video. YouTube, what is all the soccer things? Why are they in their little place?
What is all the
Soccer, why? I'll try why are they in their little place.
What YouTube new to soccer?
All right, should we do homework?
Yeah, we gotta stop this podcast.
Yeah, it's long. Ben,
We gotta kick this soccer podcast ball out of bounds.
yeah. Ben, what's your homework?
I don't know. Send us an email if you have any ideas about the air quality mystery in my apartment.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, you can go to airnow.gov and look at the air quality in your area.
You can buy air. Yeah, you can buy an air particle detector, right? How would you Google
Yeah,
like
you
that?
can. Maybe PM sensor.
What would you call it?
I don't know. I don't know
Quality
what
air
you
laser.
call it. Like
what
a
about
handheld,
a quality air laser?
handheld PM sensor, maybe?
Gross, Hannah.
That was
Oh, they're expensive. Oh no, that one's like $100, but there's one that's like $2,000.
Just text us and Ben will build you one and send it to you.
Yeah, text us.
Yeah.
We'll tell you how later. Any social media you want to promote?
No. Sure. My Twitter is nicely proved Ben. My Twitch is Disco Greg. Bye.
Okay. My homework is go follow some of these smart people on Twitter. Eric Eddings at EEDDINGS. Brittany Luce at BMLUSE. Emmanuel Chochi, who I think I always pronounce his name wrong and I apologize, which is at News Manual, NEWS Manual. He's the third Reply All co-host that was recently added. Follow some of the, and decolonize your podcast feed. And also watch me and Ian and our friends Matt and Andrea on Twitch every Tuesday. This week, like the Tuesday after this episode comes out, we're going to be playing Zelda Majora's Mask. Yeah.
Fun game.
Yeah, and Matt's never played it before. Ian has beaten it, so he's going to be like allowing backseating, but only from Ian, because he's the only one who will know what's going on. But it's been very fun. I've actually made some like friends. Like the other day, I turned up in one of Matt's other streams, and there were people there who like I actually recognized their usernames and knew stuff about them because they had been on other streams. And it's like he's building an actual little community. He's got like over 100 follower, what do they call it? There's like the thing where you follow some
followers.
Not subscribers but followers.
That's cool.
And quite a number of subscribers too. So yeah, he's doing good. He's doing real good, and it's fun.
Cool.
So yeah, come join us Tuesdays at 8 at Maddie Pizza Table on Twitch, and I'm on Twitter at Hanthropology and on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok at Hannah and Her Cats. And Erin, what's your homework?
Hello, my homework is to check out the She Believes Cup happening this week and next week. Well, if you're listening, it's happening on Sunday. Games at 3 and 6, and then Wednesday at 7, and there's one before that. I don't remember. 4 and 7, maybe. If you would like to join my calendar, I'm sending Hannah a public link to it. I don't think that people who have sent the public link haven't had as much success as they have me manually adding them. So if you would like to join the calendar and the public link that Hannah's going to put in the description doesn't work for you, just email us and I'll add your Gmail to this calendar, and that's all I'll do with it, and I'll add you to my mailing list. I'm just kidding, I don't have one. But anyway, happy to do so. It's the only thing on this calendar are these games, which are automatically added every time new games are added to their schedule. No guarantees for quality or spam, but it is working well so far. So fingers crossed, knock on wood. It's been running for a week, so we'll see. Yeah, I think that's all for me.
Cool.
And if you know about soccer, if you know about what's going on, shoot us an email. Thanks. Our podcast, if you want to text us about getting onto Erin's calendar, or maybe if you know anything about Ben's air quality thing, you can text us or leave us a voicemail at 774-326-0420. Blaze it.
Don't dial
Blaze it. Yeah.
Don't dial Blaze it. That's rude.
We're on Twitter at 2broadpod. We're on Instagram at way2broad. You can email us at waytoobroad@gmail.com. And if you missed any of that, or if you're looking for any of the links we said we were going to post up, you can find those at waytoobroad.com for anything you want. earnben.com for anything you need. maxfun.org for cute dog on a boat, probably. I feel like I should check that more often.
Oh my god, when you were like Max Fun, I was like, I should check that right now.
Does it work?
Yep, still there. Still cruising on that boat.
It's like, I feel like I want to stop saying it eventually, but every time I go and check it, it's just,
I don't.
It's so great. And there's
so cute. It's great.
Guys, there's like 4 places you can click on this page, and they all go to the same page.
Just go to this. It's to go back to and it's in a new tab. It's really nice. They just open a new tab with like the same content. There's an RSS feed. I love that. Does that work?
No.
I'm gonna like put this RSS feed. No, it doesn't.
Oh my god! It just makes the URL say "Cruising Max" says yippity yip.
Oh my god! What is?
Oh my god!
So cute. All right.
And then the picture's really good. He's wearing a nice little vest. This is peak internet. You can't stop saying. I mean, this is like what the internet is for.
Yeah.
It's just this like random ass fucking site where you can look at this cute dog.
So good.
It's very good. Check out check out maxfun.org.
Do not type in cruisingmax.org. I mean, you can, but all bets are off on what you're going to get.
That's it. So, oh no, I never lit the podcast candle again. This is like the second week in a row.
I'll do the podcast slam. I'm out of matches.
Oh.
I mean, not in the house. I got plenty of matches in the house. I just don't remember to bring them up. All right, I'm ready to turn off the podcast lamp.
Okay. All right. The podcast lamp is now extinguished. Hey, I saw it. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Oh, should I put the vibe thing in at the end instead of the beginning? Okay. How do you know what your vibe is? Like, I know my vibe is not like a person that can get away with saying, "You got it, boss," like in a jovial way.
Hey, you got it, boss.
Like, no, but like just to like, I was thinking like there are people who could say that to their realtor and just be like, "You got it, boss," and then be like a fun, friendly interchange. And if I said it, it would sound like I was antagonizing her, or just very resentful. If I was like, "You got it, boss," like it wouldn't come off that way. I just feel like there's elements of your vibe you have no control over.